How's everybody doing? My name is Mike, and this is Mr. Clarence, and we're going to go ahead and work with him outside today because it is so nice out. It's overcast, but it's cool. The sun's not shining, so anytime it's cool out, we try to work the dogs outside because there's so many noises, and it just provides a lot of distraction. If you do it outside, they're going to definitely be able to do it inside. So this guy is probably, he knows the least as far as leash manners that I've met in a dog. He, some dogs I can show them leash pressure, and within a day or two they're operating pretty smoothly. He still wants to, when he feels pressure, there's times when he's resisting, and that's, this is simple. It's just because the dog was never taught when it was a puppy how to behave on the leash. So whatever they do for that, this dog's a year old, so whatever he's done for the last year is what he's going to do on the leash because that's what he's learned. Essentially, whatever the dog's doing, we've technically taught them to do that. Even if it's an undesired behavior, if the owner tells me my dog does this and this and this, technically they've kind of trained the dog to be that way unknowingly. I say they unknowingly instill unwanted behaviors in their dog, and then later on in life becomes an issue. So today we're going to work them outside, and we're just going to use attrition. We're going to, it's a wearing down process. I'm going to tell the dog, sit, sit, heel, sit, and we're also going to use his place. We're going to introduce him onto place and see how he does with that. Now, we do want, when I correct the dog, it's actually a good thing. I want to correct the dog. That way I can show him what I want from him. If he, anything he does that I don't want, I'm going to discourage. I'm going to say no, correction, which will be a leash pop, and then give him direction. If he does something I want, I'm going to encourage him. I'm going to tell him, good boy. This is called marking. So I'm going to mark the behavior for him, because especially in the first few days, you want them to start understanding that. I'm letting them know how they're doing as they're doing it. And this dog gets distracted very easily, so anything's going to distract him. He's going to try and do what he wants to do. So like the chimes, he wanted to flee from that, and the wind, all that stuff's kind of bothering him. He wants to face that way because that's where he can kind of see everything. So we're going to make sure he's compliant, and we're going to correct him when he's doing something he's not supposed to do, because in a mode like this state of mind is not good. Heel. Because the dog could actually flee from the owners and get hit by a car. So we stop all these behaviors for a reason. So I'm going to go ahead and start working them because it's the perfect time now. Heel. Sit. Good boy. Heel. Sit. And I'm only, good boy. So I'm only using verbal for right now because he is so excited. If you touch him, he's going to go and break the command. Heel. Sit. Good boy. Sit. Good. Good sit. Good sit. No, sit. No, sit. Good. Heel. Sit. Good. Heel. Sit. Good. Heel. Sit. Good boy. Sit. Good job. No, sit. You see how he pounced like that? So anytime the dog, he thought I was going to, put him in heel and then move. So anytime the dog is trying to anticipate what you're doing, do not allow them to do that. Many of my clients will have the dog in a sit, and then they'll start moving, and then the dog will actually move with them, and then they say heel. And it's only a fraction of a second, but when they do that, that's telling the dog you're allowed to anticipate what I'm going to do. If you think I'm going to do something, go ahead and just do it by yourself, which is not what we want. We want them to wait for direction every time like that. Good boy, good sit. See how he's holding the position? That's what I want. Good sit. Heel. Place. So now I'm going to put him on place. So you see him fighting. So I just hold the leash up. If the dog fights, we hold the leash up and we wait for them to remain calm. Then we ask them again. Okay, place. So I just go to put him right on the, see? So if he does that, we remain calm. You hold the leash, remain calm. Place. So when the dog does that, and I'm glad he did that because I want you guys to see this. This is what he was doing with me when I was not able to film it. He did it with me last. He's done it every day he's been here. He's done some form of that, and that was actually relatively mild. Last night he did it about 5 different times. Good place. So I'm telling him that because he's on there. He's just unsure, and he's used to doing what he wants to do. Again, he's done this for a year of his life, his first year in the world. he's been allowed to do whatever he wants to do. And if trying to flee and get away from the issue is how he's had success in the past of avoiding things, he's going to try it with me. And since all dogs are different, some are easier than others, you know, and some just require a little more to convince them. Heel. Sit. Good. Heel. Sit. Good. Heel. No. No. So again, you see how I just hold still while he tries to flee? He just doesn't, you know, he's just not used to doing what people ask him to do. So as he tries to flee, I just hold still. I just hold the leash just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to bring him up to it. I'm not even going to ask him to go on to it. I'm just going to kind of bring him kind of close and turn around and heel. Heel. No. 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 Heel. Sit. Sit. Place. See, the dog cannot be allowed to do that. The dog cannot be allowed to panic and then not go, no, not go where I asked him. So he broke it. No, correction, direction, place. So when the dog breaks the command, then I just give him no, correction, then direction. It's very calm. We do it in a real calm manner. You can come up here, Jess. We do it in a real calm manner for the dog, and you know he's in a panic. He knows what I'm asking, but he's used to not complying and getting away with it. And you know the dog has to learn the rules. There has to be rules. Heel. Sit. Heel. Sit. No. Sit. Heel. No. Sit. Place. Place. So if you hear whining or anything like that, you do not stop because the dog vocalizes. The dog is absolutely stressed out. The dog's never been asked to do these kinds of things. So just because the dog whines, though, we do not stop the process, because what's going to happen is the dog's going to learn, if I whine, then I don't need to do this. So, you know, if we ask the dog to do something, they have to be compliant. They have to listen, and they have to learn. And if this dog was a puppy, keep in mind, this would all be much easier. This always comes down to the owner not doing the proper things when they're a puppy, whether they know it or not. You know, sometimes this type of training gets criticized, but the truth is, this is all coming from, you know, owners that aren't doing what they need to do in the beginning, and that stems from a whole lack of actual education in the dog training community, or in just the human community. Period. Even trainers do not agree on how it should be done, and unfortunately, there's a lot of bad advice out there. This dog came from a treat trainer. Okay, 95% of my dogs, 98% of the dogs I get, all have done treat training before me, and they're coming to me because they want something different and they want results that are going to work, and they don't want their dog doing tricks. They want their dog to be obedient, because that's what we're experiencing. Is, you know, we're seeing with treat trainers, they're just using tricks and not actually, you know, fixing the actual issue. So then we get the dog and we teach them what we want through a leash, and I teach the dog. I'm using positive reinforcement. Or right here, I'll use good boy, good place. So I let him know, you're doing what I want you to do right now. So we use a leash and we use our praise as positive reinforcement, so the dog begins to actually work for your affection. Okay, heel. Good boy. Heel. Place. Good. So you guys are seeing real time. Good place. Good boy. Good boy. Good place. So you guys are seeing real time. Atta boy. Good boy. Good place, Clarence. So you guys are seeing real time how dog training works. Okay, the dog went through a little bit of struggle at first, and then once he realizes what I want and what he needs to do, he begins to be compliant and calm down and relax and actually sit or actually lay down on his place. Again, this is the first time this dog's ever been asked to do something like this. So he's actually doing a really good job. Okay, buddy, heel. Good boy. Good job. Sit. Did you guys see how the last time I was able to just walk right up to it and he went on it, no problem, compared to the last few times. Heel, sit, good boy, heel, place, atta boy. So the corrections, if you remember what I said, I believe I said it earlier in the video, the corrections actually lead to the compliance. We actually need to be able to correct the dog to then show the dog what we want. Okay, heel, good boy. Again, this is real time how it's going, guys. Place, good job. So, I had one of my customers tell me I should really do before and after videos, and they are right. But you know, what I like to do is actually show the meat of what I'm doing. You know, I'm not showing you before and after. I'm showing you, and you know, most of these videos, real time, how the dog's reacting to me, and that's how the dog was reacting to me, trying to get him on place for his first time. And now you're seeing how compliant he is, and why it's beneficial to use a leash and not treats. Heel, good boy, boy. Sit. Heel. Sit. Good boy. Place. Attaboy. Good job. Good boy. Now he's actually excited to go up there. Good boy. He's excited that time. Good job, buddy. Good boy. Place. Dude's actually excited. He like wagged his tail when he went on there because he knows that's what I want from him. So it's actually like a little game for the dog. Like, hey, do this, do that. It's, oh, I know what you want. Oh, here, sit. You know, you're playing a game with them. You know, and when you're encouraging them, it feels good. Good boy, good place, good job. Okay, so that's the release word for him. So he actually did really good with that. You know, we just want to encourage all the good behaviors, and we just want to discourage the bad behavior. That's what it comes down to. Don't use treats to train your dog, because you're not going to get lasting results. You saw how uncompliant the dog was with me when I asked him simply to just go on a bed with a little bit of leash pressure. I got, you know, I got all these problems. And like I said, guys, 98% of these dogs that come here are coming from a treat trainer who is claiming you don't need to use discipline with your dog, you don't need to use any punishment, and you only need to use treats. And you know, obviously you can see what that got us. The dog does not know it. So and simply in a few minutes the dog was able to understand what I want. Yes, there is some struggle, but you know, life is tough. Life can be a struggle, and with this dog acting in that manner, the owners are struggling. You know, their life is stressful and they are struggling. You know, so for the dog to just go for a few minutes of stress or struggling in the head to figure out this is where I need to be, for a lifetime of you know, for a lifetime of it being easier for the owner and the dog and no stress, for a lifetime without stress. Now they can just say place and love place, and the dog will go right on it. Good boy, good job. Okay, okay. See, he's so confused even right there. He almost like resisted the leash when I told him okay, and kind of pulled him off, because that's what he's been doing his whole life. But we're very happy with those results, and we're going to keep working them. Repetition and attrition is what's going to get us the good behavior in the end run. Remember, you can use a leash and not